Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it occurred to me after the vlog last week that I kind of left you guys with a little bit of a cliffhanger. I never resolved the issue with the strimmer, and the reason for that was because I didn't have a resolution to it at the time. But we brought the strimmer back to the shop during the week and we had to get a new one. It turns out that there was an issue with the battery or the charger with the original strimmer and it wasn't charging, but we have a new one and it works really well. So that's what it should do, and the other one just wasn't doing that at all. So that was a major source of stress for me last week, and I'm really glad that it's all solved now.
Why was it such a source of stress for you, Ronan?
Okay, so the reason it was such a source of stress for me was because I lost the receipt when I was opening the strimmer up, and I had no idea what I did with it. I still to this day have absolutely no idea what I did with it, but when we went back to the shop, they didn't care that I didn't have the receipt. They didn't even question that I didn't have the receipt, so it wasn't a problem in the end at all. One other thing really quickly, just while I was saying all that, Frank was trying to find somewhere comfortable to sit down in the back garden, and this is what he's gone with.
Puppy.
So he's obviously thinking, well, if there's nowhere comfortable for me to sit, I'm just going to sit here on the hot stones. So we're just going to head off into town now, and one of the reasons I want to go into town is because I've got my Gameboy, and this is the very first games console that I ever owned. I've had this since I was about 7 or 8 years old. It still works, but one of the things that's just I've noticed has happened to it is I just turn the contrast all the way up. Is that up? No, it's down. So you can see there's like black and there's like lines running down to the screen. So I was doing a lot of looking online, and actually that's an easy enough thing to fix, but I don't have all the tools to do it. And there's a shop in Dublin that will do it for me, so I'm going to drop it into them and get them to do it. So I just left my Gameboy in there, and I thought I was going to have to wait a couple of days, but your man actually says he'll have it ready for me in about 15 minutes. So we're going to go and find somewhere to have a drink, and then I'll go and pick it up when it's done. And we're home, and I have my Gameboy back, and the Gameboy screen is working perfectly again. So I'm really happy with that. It only cost me €20 to get that fixed, and if I had to go and get all the tools that I would have needed to get to fix it myself, I'm sure it would have cost me more than €20. So I'm absolutely delighted that I was able to get that fixed for such a cheap price, and that now it's working perfectly again. Also, I got these new sunglasses yesterday, and I really like them. They were only €16. I'm probably not going to wear them all the time though. I'm going to keep wearing the sunglasses that you would see me wear in all my other videos, because I really like those ones. But I wanted to get these ones just to have like as sort of a cheap second pair, because I was going out the other night and it was still kind of sunny like this, but I knew it would be late when I got home, so I didn't want to bring my good sunglasses in case they got like lost or broken or scratched or whatever. With these ones I can bring them out in situations like that, and then I can just stick them in my pocket, and if they get scratched or broken or whatever, like, they didn't cost a lot of money, so I don't really mind. One other thing, it's 6 o'clock now and it's 20 degrees, the sun is still shining, and it's just so lovely here today in Dublin. So for dinner tonight we had lasagna, and it was delicious. I know I've said this on the vlog before, but I absolutely love lasagna. It is one of my favorites, and it makes me so happy every time we have it. So it took about an hour or so just to heat up and get ready, and in that hour I spent the time playing Zelda on the Game Boy. I haven't really played this at all in probably close to 15 years. So I just really enjoyed revisiting my childhood a little bit, because this Zelda game, Zelda Link's Awakening, was the very first Zelda game that I ever played. It was the game that got me into Zelda, and I just love it. There's a helicopter flying overhead right now, so I'm hoping that it's not killing my audio quality. But yeah, I'm really enjoying... I'm going to go inside. Anyway, like I was saying, I was really just enjoying playing the Game Boy and kind of just like revisiting my childhood. It just takes me back playing it, and I was just really enjoying it while we were waiting for dinner. Also, I think I got a bit sunburned today. I think what happened was I had sunscreen on, but then I went for my park run this morning because I was running, I was sweating, and so I think it all came off. And I think that's when I got sunburned. But it was actually really cool today because a couple of weeks ago, Elaine met this girl online. She met her through Instagram. And this girl had just adopted a greyhound. And she messaged Elaine on Instagram because she'd seen that we had just gotten a greyhound. And she was just kind of a bit unsure of a few things and like just had like lots of questions and, you know, did our dog do the kind of things that her dog was doing? So they've kind of struck up a bit of a relationship. We met this girl and her boyfriend and their dog in the park that I do my park runs in this morning. So while I was off doing my park run, they were all hanging out and they took the dogs to the enclosed dog park in Waterstown Park so that they could have a run around and kind of to see how they got on together. The two dogs got on brilliantly. And actually, like, when I caught up with them after the park run, Frank saw me first and just came bounding over to me. And then when he started to run, the other dogs started to chase after him. Even when I was there and we were all just kind of hanging around chatting, the dogs were just running around and like they kept just trying to play with each other and they were just playing with each other the whole time. And it was just amazing to see. And like I love how much Frank has come out of his shell in the last while. And like it's amazing to see him with other dogs and particularly other greyhounds because he gets really, really excited. One thing that actually has started to happen when he gets excited, the hair on the back of it, like kind of his shoulders and the back of his neck, all starts to stand up and he looks like he has like a mohawk, and it's really, really cool. So yeah, he's come on in leaps and bounds since March. And the dog that we met today, like he reminds me an awful lot of when we got Frank first. Like he's a little bit shyer, he's a little bit quieter, and I have absolutely no doubt that in a couple of weeks or months he's going to be just as outgoing as Frank is now. So Frank and I were just out for his last walk of the evening and we're just back in the house now. And we're chilling on the couch for a little bit and we'll probably do this until it's time to go to bed. So we will see you in the morning. Good morning. So we're just planning out our day for today, and in the meantime I'm just making more tea and coffee for me and Elaine. I've just gone out and I'm going to go and grab all the groceries that we need because we haven't actually done any grocery shopping yet this weekend, and it's kind of getting late in the weekend to be doing it. So yeah, I'm just going to go and get it all sorted now. Let's do my meal prep for next week. Now, I'm kind of finished doing late shifts in work, probably until about September. So I don't need to make my chicken dinners to bring into work anymore. So during the day, rather than having kind of like a big dinner sort of meal, I'm making myself sandwiches, but I still meal prep them. And I've kind of been alternating between ham sandwiches and chicken sandwiches. But rather than just buying packets of ham or packets of chicken that you can use to make the sandwiches, what we've been doing is we've been buying ham fillets or roast chickens. So for next week coming, I'm having ham. So that means that I'm gonna cook up this ham right now. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting some heat under this hob, and I'm gonna put water into this pot. and boil up the ham in here. So this is going to take a little while just to come to the boil, but the idea of boiling the ham is just to take all the excess salt out of the ham, and then once the ham comes up to the boil, I'm going to take it off the heat, I'm going to put it into a different dish, and then I'm going to put pears into the dish with the ham, and I'm going to cook it in the oven for an hour and a half. And when it comes out of the oven after that hour and a half, it will be perfect and delicious. While I'm waiting for the ham to come up to the boil, I think I'll play my Game Boy for a little bit. I'm really enjoying playing Zelda on the Game Boy again. I had no real intentions of playing it yesterday, but I turned it on for like 5 minutes just to sort of make sure everything was working again. I've really gotten into it. It really just feels like going back in time. So I'm just kind of finishing off all the kind of housework tasks that I have to do for this weekend. Quick update on the ham. We're up to the boil. One quick thing to point out, the clock on that oven is wildly wrong. Since we've had the house, we haven't actually been able to figure out how to set the clock, but we do know how to work the timer, and that's all that really matters. So all my housework is done, and I haven't really explained what housework I was doing. I was literally just hoovering or vacuuming the floors and mopping the floors, changing the bed sheets on Frank's bed, and just swapping out the throw on the couch in the sitting room. Doesn't take long. It usually takes about an hour and a half tops to do the entire house. So the only thing left to do now is just to take Frank for his last walk of the evening, and then I think just relax and obviously deal with the ham once it comes out of the oven, but it still has about an hour to go. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and bring the dog out for a walk now. And we're home from Frank's walk. He's just chilling beside me and taking it easy. I'm going to just chill for a little bit as well. So I think I might just be able to crank out another 15 minutes on this before I have to go and deal with the ham. I'm really enjoying playing this, and it's just been really nice because it's kind of like revisiting my childhood and just taking me back down memory lane. Like, Nintendo announced a couple of months ago that they're remaking the game that I'm playing on this for the Nintendo Switch, and maybe that's what kind of got me really thinking about playing it again, and really kind of like just got me thinking that I wanted to play it again. Like, that game was such an important part of my childhood, and I just have so many fond memories of it as a kid and playing it for hours and hours on end, that yeah, I just like playing it now as an adult. It's just like, it's as enjoyable as it was as a kid. The challenge has largely gone out of it because I kind of know the game so well at this stage, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable. It's like meeting an old friend that you haven't seen for years, you know. It's just, I'm really having a great time with it. Okay, so the ham is done, and this is what it looks like. I'm just going to go stick that on a plate and leave it to cool down. But it is done, and I am very excited to have that for my lunches for the rest of the week. So I just pulled this little section off, and I just want to have a taste now. That is so good. What I love about this, and it was Elaine's idea to start doing this, but it is a lot cheaper than just buying cooked ham for lunches, and it is so much nicer. So not only are we saving money, but we're getting a much nicer meal. So I just leave the ham up on top of the fridge while it's cooling down, because that is the one place that we know that we can leave stuff in the kitchen that Frank can't reach. So I'll leave it there, and I'll probably leave it there overnight and stick it in the fridge in the morning. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.